everyone, and welcome to the latest installment from True North Trading. Hope you're all having a great trading week, and I'm just going to go through some pairs now with you. I'm just going to recap it from last Friday. We was in a trade on NZD USD, and we was going long, but we got taken out through the gap in the market. But I have also ended up going short on this pair, so I'm going to break down why I've done that. So that's I will come to that in a moment. First, I just want to start on Euro AUD, which is a trade that I'm currently in. Entered today. It was on the True North Trading Instagram. If you don't follow us at True North FX, so this is just a little breakdown of why I've got into the trade and what I'm expecting from this trade. So let's just break down from top-down analysis. So we're starting on a daily, a nice downtrend, which has been respected a couple of times. So I've formed a nice downtrend, and I started to look for possible shorts as we came to this resistance area that is quite significant. As you can see, we've had numerous, daily candles touch and test, and a good move down. So I'm currently expecting the same. We have kind of broken out the trend line, but again, I'm not someone who trades breakouts of trend lines, as especially on a time frame as significant as a daily, because you do get a lot of manipulation, and again, I'm sure we're going to see that. So I've drawn this little grey zone here on a resistance area. It's a strong area, so we're just going to drop down to the 4-hour time frame now. So you see on the 4-hour, it's been a strong resistance constantly. Prices struggle to break it. This time we have had a slight break, but immediately, this is why I also got back in the trade, a long wick rejection and a bearish engulfing candle straight back down. That's on the 4-hour time frame. So then if we go on to the hourly time frame, which is where I took an entry, I was actually late with my entry. We started to get, obviously, we've got a huge bullish candle there, and we've got a bit of a pullback, but again, nice wicks. Started to get like a spinning top candle, green spinning top. Then we got a bullish, a very bearish engulfing. That is where I wanted to enter. I was watching this price action around here, and then because I know this region here was significant, it is quite. So, like I say, really I wanted to get my entry about there, but that didn't, quite happen. It happened about down here, which, that's my own fault, but, it's not too bad. We've got a nice entry. Currently, we are seeing a bit of consolidation, and then we have had a little move higher, but I still feel like this pair will at least come bound to test this area of resistance, which will be at our support of around, 1.6228, and that's a target of about 75 pips. Got a 41 pip stop loss. Obviously, the stop loss would have been less if I'd have got a higher entry by about 10 pips less, so about 30 pips. So right now, like I say, until this trade, can get to about 25, 30 pips, then we'll make this risk-free and ride it, see what happens. But yeah, first target is around there. Second target is obviously we'll start to look for areas around here. So again, a lot of supply and demand areas, the key areas of to where you want to target to. So yeah, should we see past that, I'll close half a position and then ride it down to see if we can hit around 140, 150 pip mark on that supply and demand area of 1.61612. So first target around there, 62293. I say probably go first. I think it was 75 pips. Yeah, around 60. Yeah, 62282. So that's Euro AUD. I will keep you updated. Obviously, you'll have to keep tabs on the Instagram account. So next pair is NZD USD, like I just mentioned. So right now we're in a lot of profit on NZD USD. I think we're around 40 pips profit. So it's going nice, risk-free as well. So we're just letting this ride. But yeah, I just want to cover what happened with the market gap. So you get basically when a market finishes on a Friday, you occasionally get the odd market gap now and again, but this is kind of something to do with what's going on in the world, a fundamental factor of why, that there's a big stop gap in the market. The market jumps. So instantly on Friday, on Sunday night when the market opened, I instantly was stopped out. I think we stopped out for around 40 pips. So I think I had a long trade from down here somewhere. Oh, it was up here. I'm not too sure now. Like I say, I've redone my charts, but I'll have a picture on my phone. I will update on the Instagram of where the NZD USD actually was. But yeah, I think we had a long from around these areas. I think we broke out and then I was waiting for a long to carry on up. But again, we didn't get that. And then fears of the coronavirus spreading to Australia has affected, obviously, the Southern Hemisphere currencies. I've gone through a detailed explanation on my story about this. So that's kind of the reason, the fears of what happened on the stopgap. And you've seen a lot of people, investors, take their money out of FX. Well, obviously keeping it in net FX, but taking it out of other, assets and things like that, and investing it into safer haven currencies, i.e., the Japanese yen, the Swiss franc, gold. So all these three things here have soared since Monday. So early hours Monday, I should say. So I took on this opportunity on early Monday morning. I could see that the NZD was falling and the US dollar was gaining a lot of strength on it. So I got a nice entry. Obviously, it'd have been nice to have got these entries here. Like say, straight on the market open, 11 o'clock. That closed down there, and we got a retracement up. So anywhere around there would have been a nice. Also breaking out of that trend line. See, my original thought process for this was the fact that we'd broken out the trend line, and again, like I've just said, I kind of went against what I would do normally. I thought, right, because it is on a daily chart, I thought we might actually respect this trend line and go up, but no, that wasn't the case. So right now we broke back below the trend line, as you can see. And then obviously also I want to mention, sorry about this, from the last point on the trend line. So this is our kind of technique that I like to trade. I find it quite effective actually. So if you draw a trend line, so you get one touch, two touch, draw a Fibonacci from the second touch to the swing low, and then get the retracement and between 61.8 to the 78.6. They're the areas that I start to look for sales. But obviously with this one, like I said, because it exceeded the 78.6 by quite a bit, we did get quite a nice negative, but bearish movement there. What day was that back on? That was on the 2nd of Jan, so at the start of the month. So there was a nice move back down. And like I said, this trend line I thought was going to get respected. That was why I was looking for longs in and around this area. You see on the daily, we got a nice bullish candle. So that didn't quite go to plan. Like say, the stopgap is, as always, the market has penciled in these, fundamental call outs before we've even thought about it. The market knows what's going to happen. So then the price has to react to the way the fundamentals are going to go. So that's basically, it's penciled in. So that's how it goes. We can't do nothing about that. That's just trading. You live and learn. So yeah, that's the NZD USD. Like I say, my first target of NZD USD was around. So I just drop back onto the daily. I think my first target, I've done that at around that support area over here. So that was my first target. So again, if we can exceed that target, so let me just draw a little region again. That's kind of there. That area of support is my target. If we can break that again, so let me just go back. My next target would be in and around these areas here, another supply and demand zone. So yeah, if we can break out of that, a lot of movement. But right now, that's kind of where we're at. So that's the update. So they're the only two trades that I'm in: Euro AUD, NZD USD. I have actually taken the trade on, I think it was GBP NZD on Monday, which yes, it was Monday. So yeah, there you go. We got, like I said to you, with the NZD going weak, I took the opportunity to go very bullish on the NZD USD. Let me just get the 4-hour chart up. So I got a good entry from, let me think now, sorry. 26, yep, in and around here. Oops, sorry. So getting there. Trying to think where we was, 26th Jan. It was about 7 a.m. when I got in. 27th of Jan. So there we go. So in and around these areas here, that was where I got in. So sorry. So again, I'd taken a nice amount of pips on this trade. I think I did get in quite late as well. I was really wanted to get in at that candle low. See, when that candle closed at 6 a.m., I was really wanted to be in there because I had a few, like say, with the NZD going weak, I just knew this pair was going to, I think I ended up getting in halfway up. So again, I closed out, I think it was just shy of 50 pips, 48 pips that I closed out of. But as you can see, it absolutely soared. If I'd have kept it open, see, this is what happened. I think I had a target of about 40 pips. And then when I moved my second position to break even, yeah, I think I must have had a high position. I got taken out. So then what I tried to do is, again, I got another position open, but I didn't. Oh, let me think now where it was. I got taken out at break. Yeah, I think it was there yesterday. Was it yesterday? Oh no, that's today. Again, I did enter another position yesterday, but I got taken out at break even. I think it might have been higher up there. Yeah. And then I didn't actually close my profit because it didn't hit to 50 pips. I have a routine of 50 pip targets. So I closed my trade at 50 pips, my first position. And I didn't do that yesterday, obviously, because I think it only, say, peaked 40 odd pips. So yeah, again, some pips lost out on, but I don't take it as that. I take it as, a win overall, 48 pips, whatever, at 0.25 lot, which, came in nice. So that's not too bad. Like I said, it made up for the loss on the NZD USD. So that's all. And that's all that matters, basically, is the risk to reward is always greater than the loss. So again, GN, that was my perspective on that yesterday. So now I am expecting a pullback, to be honest. If we look onto the daily chart on GBP NZD, we are forming a right shoulder of a head and shoulder pattern. And this is a very effective trading pattern. So I like to use these quite a lot, double tops, head and shoulders, inverse head and shoulders. They're the kind of key trading patterns that most people use. So as you can see here now, we are forming a right shoulder. And if we look at like the previous high, drawing a Fibonacci on to the bottom of the trend line, we've kind of nearly completed the retracement. So I think the shorts are actually incoming. You can see, we're starting to see the sellers coming to the market. So we've had a lot of green candles, a lot of buyers. And I think the sellers are now coming in. We've hit, well, practically touched that 61.8 region up here. So now maybe we see shorts down to these regions. So first, I would expect the trend line to be, a target. So let's have a look here, short positions. We are forming very nicely. So as you can see, there's a lot of room to take pips. You're talking just 100 pips there. Stops that actually, if I was getting in this late. Yeah. As well, this is the thing with GBP pairs like GN, you need like a minimum, I'd say, at 50 pip stop loss, because the pair is so quick at moving. So I'd definitely, down your risk, because these pairs fly. Like 50 pips is nothing on these pairs. They absolutely rocket. 1 minute you can be 50 pips up, the next minute you're out at break even. So again, like I say, when trading these pairs, I'd use lower risk and higher risk to reward for greater gains, because like I said, these pairs can fly. It's relentless. So just off today, so we'll be able to see here in a moment. So that's the 27th, at the end of the 27th, 28th. So there you go. Just today, that's nearly 75 pips in a day, 80 pips in a day. Like you see, it's relentless. This pair, all similar pairs. GA, that's the same. So yeah, that's kind of a situation there that I am looking at right now. Drop into the hour. Again, like I said, you can see a lot of sellers coming into the market, but a bullish engulfing there. So hopefully I'm going to try and get an entry on this now. I am monitoring price action. I'd like maybe a bit of a candlestick pattern, and then I'll look to get in the trade. But I do think GN is going to go short. So yeah, that's my personal opinion on that one. I'm going to move on. I've kind of jumped the gun a little bit here now, so I'm going to go back up to Euro NZD. So if we're going to Euro NZD, right, here we go. Like I say, another favourite of mine. Let me just untick the ones I've done. So GN, yep, sound. So again, with Euro NZD, my trend line, this, like I said to you, this is a favourite method of mine that I like to trade. Trend line, one touch, two touch, draw Fibonacci to the swing high, which is up here. And we've had a nice retracement down to 78.6. Again, we've not actually closed below this area. So where the bottom of the Fibonacci starts, that's the lowest point. If we'd have broke, say if this had come below, we would have made new lows. So then this would be invalid. I'd say we're then going to come into a downtrend. But right now, as you can see, again, we're at a supply and demand area, support, resistance. So again, this has been an area that's not been broken for, let's say, since 19th of December, we've not actually been above this area here. So I am waiting to see now how price reacts. Again, drop down to the 4 hour. We are getting quite a few shooting wicks, which is again showing resistance. But for me, I'm going to just monitor this. I'd like to see price close, a nice close up and around these areas, maybe exceed. Sorry, hang on. I'm waiting. I want to see price kind of get back above this area here. If price can get back above this area here, I'll be looking for long trades. So long positions anywhere from around there. And then, like you said, it's all about, so like I say, it's all about targets then. So if it was to get a nice entry from in and around there, first target there, if I look, will be up and around there, which is a nice big move. And like I say, with these pairs, there's a lot of movement in them. So a couple of 100 pips could only take maybe a few days. So that's a trade that I'm looking at. It'd be nice. Vice versa, if this trade does not close above this area, so again, if this trade struggles to break these areas, then I will be looking at short trades. I will be monitoring price action because right now this is an area where, you know, it could go either way. That's kind of, sorry, one moment, I'm just in the moment here. So yeah, that's kind of the bonus with these supply and demand areas. You can either break back above and move higher, or basically reject the area and move lower. So again, put two possible trades. It's all about just timing and waiting. I imagine we're going to get some sort of manipulation spike. Plus, we have got some fundamentals coming out tomorrow. I think it's a USD. I think it's a GBP. So I don't think that's going to affect. Oops. Sorry, hang on. Let me just get back on to that. So I've just gone to investing.com. Where's it gone now? Economic calendar. There we go, economic calendar. So let's have a look for tomorrow. Filters. It should be all right. So you can see. Right, let's have a look for the red balls. Sorry, one moment. There you go. That cuts it down. USD. Yeah, sorry, it was a US dollar rate statement. USD rate statement. So that's kind of the main one, really. It is expected 1.75 is forecast. It's not changed. It kind of, we'll have to look at the inflation, but basically with the interest rates, this is how they decide it. The inflation within a country gets balanced out by a rate hike, a rate hike or a rate cut. So when a currency's inflation is really high, they'll do a rate cut to even it out. When a currency's inflation is really low, they'll do a rate hike to even it out. That is how they balance the books basically within an economy. So we'll see now whether the FOMC do rate hike or cut. I've not looked into the inflation reports, but normally they don't. I can't see the US dollar cutting it. Like I say, it is the strongest currency out there. So if anything, I'd expect a hike, but more than likely it's going to stay the same. So that's that. And then tomorrow night, we've got trade balance for the NZD. Sorry, it's 16:45. Trade balance for the NZD. Just check tonight. AUD. Oh, sorry, one moment. Time zone. I had a feeling then the time went right. Sorry, that's my fault. So I'm just going to quickly go back over that again. So it is currently 19:31. Yeah, that's right. So if I have a look, there you go. Tomorrow again. There we go. Right, that's what we want. So tomorrow morning, we've got basically in about 5 hours time, 6 hours time, AUD CPI. I might actually try and trade this. I do like to trade fundamental events, especially the Aussie and the Kiwi when it comes to things like their inflation CPI. They do move for some pips. You're talking, anything from 20 to 100 pips. They do absolutely fly. So I might try and stay up for that one. But obviously, I am British Standard Time, so it will be 12:30 my time. And then, like I said, then tomorrow we have got the FOMC. I knew it's about 3:30 normally. Sorry, 7 o'clock. That's 3:30. That one. 7 o'clock tomorrow. That's when the statement comes out. And like I say, tomorrow night, NZD trade balance. So that's a quick little review just on the economic calendar for the next 24 hours. So as you can say there, a lot of these pairs, Euro NZD, NZD USD that I'm currently in, Euro AUD that I'm currently in, they can all be affected by those economical events. But I will keep you updated on these because basically, like I said to you earlier in the video, the market prices these news reactions in. The markets are geared up for these. You know, when I first started trading, I used to think like, wow, like shot up like 150 pips, like crazy. Now surely it's going to keep buying, and then all of a sudden price comes back down. That's because the market, it'll have a big movement like that, but price will just come back to where it needs to be. And that's what you learn over time with experience. So that's just a little lesson for the people there who aren't, you know, maybe too clued up when it comes to fundamental analysis, and also people who are new into trading. So it's a good, you know, listening to someone who's lost through things like that. It's good to learn. Just be patient. Don't just buy because the, you know, price is going high. You know, there's going to be a sharp pull. If that price isn't meant to be high, that pullback is going to come. But yeah, so I'm going to move on to the next pair now. I've kind of gone over Euro NZD a bit, you know, into too much detail, but I'm just giving you an insight of how to look at things and how to prepare yourself for when the market is, you know, live in those fundamental events. So that's Euro NZD. I'm just going to tick that off now. USD CAD. Sorry, I know we're going through quite a few things here. It's just obviously I want to give you as much detail as possible in these videos. You know, I hope it's worthwhile. If I can help one person, then I'm doing something right. So, like I said before, my favorite trading technique: trend lines down, daily, Fibonacci from the last high to the low. And then obviously the supply and demand zone, which is around here. As you can see, we've seen a lot of wick rejections. It's acted as support and then acted as resistance. So let's see, we go. And if you can see here now, this is where price is actually currently at. So it's no coincidence that when I draw these on, that price is in and around these regions. Do you know what I mean? This is how important these supply and demand zones are. So again, 61.8. See, just looking at its daily candle, I think this USD CAD is on the way down. But my own, like I said, yeah, there we go with that. The bears are starting to come into play now. So if we drop down onto the lower time frame, 61.8 we are. Again, plenty of shooting wicks. We've had a bit of a pullback up, and now we're starting to come down. The bears are taking over. So I am probably going to look for a pullback before an entry. So when I say a pullback, I mean something like this. So if I maybe just get the brush actually. So a pullback could be a drawing, like the price coming like that, and then there. And then we want to take our entry there. Sorry for the drawing. Weren't great at art, as you can tell. But yeah, that's kind of like what you expect. When I say a pullback, because you always want to get an entry in a trade as high as possible. But, you know, for new people, don't worry about that. Your entries will come over time. You know, don't worry if you get mid. I still do it to this day. Like, say, if I feel like I've missed out on an entry, I will still jump in there and then. Don't always wait for the pullback because it might not always come. But, yeah, so this is looking very nice for a sell, like I said. But my only fear, again, is we may see some US dollar strength tomorrow due to the FOMC. Also with CAD, this is just a little bit of knowledge for CAD. So CAD actually works with US oil. So the Canadian dollar corresponds with US oil. So when US oil is doing well, you'll find that CAD's actually doing well. And I know for a fact that US oil has actually done well today. I seen a tweet earlier today saying the oil price had gone up. So if we look here from a daily perspective, we have had a bullish day on oil. So if that, you know, so obviously take into, you know, concept what I've just said, oil's had a bullish day. So now we're going to revert back to USD CAD. And as you can see there now, USD CAD has also gained today. So again, it's just a nice little bit of information for, you know, people who aren't aware of these things when it comes to trading. There's so much more to trading than you know. Like, it's when you first start trading, you don't know nothing. It takes years to understand, you know, concepts of how this, you know, industry works. It's crazy, but you learn more and more every day. So I'm trying to help people new into this game who didn't have what I basically am trying to give you now. You know, I didn't have this when I started trading. You know, the people who were teaching me the wrong things, you know, and it's only through, you know, losing, you know, frustration, you start to gain more knowledge. Don't ever give up. And then that's where you start to become, you know, your mind opens up, you start looking at different things and then reading and finding different things. So yeah, for USD CAD, like I said, long, sorry, shorts are looking very nice. Again, like you say, we are rejecting this supply and demand zone, so I wouldn't be surprised of a short move down. So if we can get a short position, but like I said, my only fear is for getting into a trade tomorrow is that FOMC. I do like to stand off. So for me personally, I probably won't put any sort of position in until at least Thursday night. Sorry, probably Thursday morning even. So I'm just gonna throw. Let's say we get down to here. So how this is I was saying about pullback, and I think I mentioned before about head and shoulders pattern. So if we can see here now, price, I would not be surprised if this happens. So price is going to keep coming down, keep coming down, keep coming down, creating neckline. If you look at where my horizontal dashes are, that's making a neckline now for a head and shoulders pattern. Then we might get a move up, keep coming up, keep coming. And if you can look now, we're kind of hitting a resistance with the left shoulder. Then we'll get the move all the way down, right? So for me, maybe, oops, sorry, I always do that. Let me just click on there. So if we go into there now, that's quite a good area for an entry. Do you know what I mean? So again, that price right there would respect that supply and demand zone. We might say a few wet rejections. So this, I'm personally probably going to wait for a setup like this. So there's no need to rush. The setup will come to us. So if I could get an entry in and around there, then like you say, first target being in and around that support area, second target down to the bottom. I hope, I hope you are getting a good understanding of what I'm trying to show you. No, it's not, sorry, 1 month, but it doesn't come easy. It takes years to understand this and craft this. So the more you're taking off these videos, the more it's going to make you do it quicker than I've done it. So like I say, it's taken me two and a bit years to fully start to understand the FX markets. And sorry for that. Bit of a dry throat. I'm going on one. So yeah, that's USD CAD. I hope, like I say, I hope you enjoyed the breakdown of that one. And now I'm just going to go into GBP USD. So GBP USD, again, price is starting to trap now. So the thing with this is, so let me just untake USD CAD. So when you start to trap price, you can get like a manipulative spike out the other way before the actual move can come. So again, grey area, supply and demand. I'll keep explaining. I want people to understand. So supply and demand, when I say that, is an area where it's been resistance, now support, or now support, now resist, been support, now resistance. Obviously you get what I'm saying. So this is a resistance. You got a head, 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 and we broke above, and it's kind of broke back, but it's kind of acting as support. Again, support, support. Now we're in a support area. So support means it's standing firm. So on the daily, like I said, daily, it's stronger time frame always. This for me, we are in a strong uptrend. This here is weaker than this. Look at the length of the line. Look at the strength basically. So for me, this is kind of a minor line. This is a stronger. Right now, price has not actually broke these lows. So for me, these lows would have to be broken before I consider this a downtrend. So when I say these, oops, Siri's actually just listened to me there. Let me just turn my phone off. Sorry, just gonna put it on airplane mode. Don't like getting disturbed while I'm doing this, even though it just happened. Right, airplane mode. So how I was saying there, so for me, lows, about making new lows, this area, I'm just going to ping array across there. Price would have to come break below these areas and then maybe move down like that. That for me, once this area gets broke, I'd consider that a downtrend. But we are kind of going the opposite way. So this is why I'm standing firm in terms of I do think a long will come more than a short. And as you can see right now, price with a huge pin bar rejection there. Yesterday's candle was a huge pin bar. So that instant, like, in the area, do you know what I mean? In the supply, look, pin bar, what happens next? We get a nice big move. Pin bar, nice big move. So today I've been monitoring GBP USD. Nice pin bar in the last 4 hours. Now, again, like I just said in the previous video, my only fear right now with trading anything with the dollar is the fact we've got the FOMC tomorrow. So you could easily go maybe, 15, 20 pips in profit before it pings down. But I like to say I'm quite cautious with things like this. I've learned my lesson. So I'm kind of going to wait again till Thursday morning to see how GU's actually played out. Hopefully we get some consolidation in and around till that area, and then we can get the move up. So for those who don't know what consolidation is, basically it's where price will just constantly in a range, not really making any highs or lows. That's consolidation. So I'll show you an area consolidation now. If I just go on to the bit of a higher time frame. So I can see some right now straight away. Consolidation, price is just consolidating, and then it breaks out. It's also a nice trading technique. Some people just trade breakouts. So they might draw that consolidation range there. Yeah. And then what they'll do, they'll go into the lower time frames. Obviously, except that wicks, that's just been a huge fake out breakout. And once they get like the clean break, that's when they kind of start to go. Do you know what I mean? They will trade that. So once they got that clean break out of there, they would maybe have traded a short trade. Again, it's just another trading technique that people use. But I'm personally not someone who trades that way. I like, clean kind of analysis. I don't really like to trade solely off consolidation. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I think there is successful traders out there who trade off breakouts. But for me personally, I like the Fibonacci with the trend lines and the supply and demand zone. That for me works for me. Everyone's different. Everyone's got their own techniques. So yeah, that's kind of for GU. Like I said, personally, I could see longs coming in. We are starting to get a 4-hour bullish engulfing. So if once this 4-hour bullish engulfing closes, that's a good sign for reversal. So like I say, I'm going to monitor price action. I might try and get in a trade early, but it's like I say, I'll let you know if I do, but I kind of want to stand away. So that's GBP USD. Sorry, 1 minute. I'll just fire you some targets on there. I like to just show you kind of, what to expect. So say we kind of got in an entry, say this bullish engulfing is going to come in and around there. Again, first target would be in and around that trend line. So yeah, around 70, 80 pips. Second target would be up to the wicks, an extra 50 pips. And say we carried on going, say we clear this area, which the possibility, there's nothing stopping this area from getting cleared. If I go out to a higher time scale, it'd then be, I'd aim for the top up there, which would be about 250 pip move. So that would then become there. And like I say, maybe if we even cleared that, you keep going, but you're talking, highs of 16th of December, not been beaten. But yeah, so that's breakdown of GBP USD. So again, untick that. Euro GBP next. I know there's quite a lot here. I might actually break this into 2 videos. Just obviously so it's easy to watch. I know people don't like watching videos that are like 45 minutes long, kind of even more than 20 minutes. But I am kind of going through a lot of pairs and a lot of detail into these videos so that you do kind of get the gist of things. So again, this is Euro GBP now. So another pound pair. We're getting through. We've not got many left now. So this is a pound pair. We're going to start again, daily downtrend. We've been in a downtrend since say 15th of August last summer. Currently in a downtrend still, and I still expect more. But on this one, price isn't where we need it right now. So we are below this supply and demand zone. So for me, like say, I'd expect a pullback, which is we are currently in. It has happened up to in and around these areas, in and around here, before I move back down. That's my personal bias on this. I can't necessarily see the euro going stronger with Brexit. So I do, obviously this is another thing, The Brexit deal has been massive for the pound. So again, fundamental analysis when it comes to trading this pair. The euro is significantly weak at the moment. And the pound, I do believe, is going to gain a lot of strength. I think this week we leave Brexit. So I would not be surprised if we can get a strong euro up to in and around these areas. And then on, I think it's Friday, it's confirmed on Friday. Everything's done by Friday. I think the pound will go super strong. So we'll see shorts come in. So again, I'd like to see get up into around that region. Ping it on. Let's see. First targets will be in and around there, around 40 odd pips. Second targets, an extra 50 pips, say. And then obviously my third targets will be down there. So plenty of room for the pound to go strong. As you can see, since August, the pound's been a lot stronger than the euro. Going to the daily, like you say, we are now we're broken lows of in and around this area. So it's all about how price now reacts. So we have now broken below that area. So I would not be surprised if we do come down to these areas. So hopefully things play out. Brexit all goes through nice and easy this week. And then, like you say, pound strength, my opinion. So that's Euro GBP. Next one is Euro USD. Again, supply and demand zone, trend line. We've got the 1 touch, 2 touch, drawn a Fibonacci. I've been waiting for this Euro USD to see how we react. Again, FOMC tomorrow, so we'll find out. But the Euro, like I say, it does look like it could gain. If not, again, we could break below. Sorry, excuse me. Brush. So again, we could break below. Nice retest up and around there you go. There's the move. That is what could happen. Right now, we are kind of just about respecting the Fibonacci 78.60 level. So this is what you got to take into account as well when you come to trading. Daily candles. So daily candle closes are really important. So right now, as you can see, it's all about like the exhaustion in the pullbacks and things like that. So we've had a nice big move down, and we're now we've got a spinning top. We're starting to get a doji. Doji candle is a candle that's very, very hardly moved from the open to the close. So this candle's not far off a doji. Again, I think we will see some sort of slowdown if we're going to the 4 hour. We are starting to see there. So if you look, we've got a nice pin bar, green pin bar candle, wick, and then the body. We've also got, like you say, bullish momentum. That's just on the 4 hour. If we're going to the hour, there we go. So we're starting to see some bulls come into play now. So, like you say, there would possibly an entry from down in that area. Like I said, your FOMC meeting again tomorrow. So for me personally, I'm standing off. Like to see price maybe break back up below. Up into these areas. So I think you've got an area around there. So let me just see that. That's on a 4 hour. Got an area in and around there. Can break above this. Hopefully, then by Thursday morning, once all the dust has settled, we can actually, maybe start looking for long trades in and around there. Because for me, like I said before, trend lines trick you. They're not actually breakouts. The trend lines don't always go on. You can, maybe if you get 50 pips, whatever, people trade that way. But for me, I like to swing trade, which is a longer term of trade, a long scale of trading. So trend lines initially don't do much. Again, like I said before, going to the daily, this here is significant. So where I've drawn that Fibonacci from, that is the previous low. I mentioned it before. If price breaks below this low, I'll just do a little drawing. If price breaks below, comes up, then we are, for me, in a downtrend. That then eliminates the uptrend. So that for me will be a new downtrend. And then as you see, this is how you're never going to see price just plummet down. It's always so you'll break, pull back, break, pull back, break, pull back, break. And then it's all about trying to, if you have profits, so set a profit there, entry there, set a profit there, entry there. Oops, sorry, set a profit there, entry there. That's kind of how how trades work. It's never a straight plummet or a straight rise. That's basically how they work. So So a moment, just get rid of all these. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying this video. Anyway, it's I think this is the most detail I've gone into a video. Trying to keep it very detailed. It is long. I've not done a video for a couple of weeks, so I felt like I owed my community just a detailed video on what's going on basically. So Euro USD complete, Euro CAD again. Sorry, like I said, we are getting through these now. We're not far off. I'm going to leave Euro CAD out. It's kind of at an area again. I'm going to leave that one out. Euro CHF. Right, this is one that's I've seen for so long that's been in a downtrend. It's literally, I feel like every time I've looked at this pair, it's just been downtrend. So I've been expecting this pullback, and today we've had a very strong bullish day. So again, the CHF has gained a lot this week as well through the coronavirus fears, a safe haven currency. So again, a lot of investors have put the money into safe haven currencies, which has gained strength against its counterpart. So here we go. So today we've had like I say, this trade could actually be one for an entry. I have missed a very good entry down there. Like right now there, you've got a morning star formation. I've not, like I say, I've literally just seen this, so I've only just flagged it up, this pair. I've not actually checked my analysis on this for a couple of days. So I'm a bit annoyed really with myself. We've got a nice morning star formation there. A bearish candle, doji, spinning top even. Bullish engulfing, that's a morning star formation. So we could have even got a nice entry from in and around these areas. So if I'd have gotten that, that was at 10 o'clock this morning. Again, we'd currently be about 30 pips in profit, but this pair has got a lot of area to climb, a lot of space to climb. If we go through onto there, so for me personally, this pair could easily get us up to in and around them areas, as you can see on the Fibonacci that I've actually drawn. So from the previous highs to that low, the 61.8, but we've got a nice, support area there. That would be my first target. So if we would have got in where I've just said, in and around in them lows, they're a long position. So from in and around there, you're talking over 100 pips, 150 pips. I would not be surprised, like say you can watch this video back in a week or whatever. I will not be surprised if this pair does reach those areas. I do see a lot of strength from the euro against the CHF, which really is actually a weaker currency than the euro. The CHF isn't as strong as the euro. So we are seeing, after so many, days, weeks, months of, downtrend, we may see a lot of euro strength coming into this currency, into this pair, I should say. And like I say, as you can see just on the daily chart, been in such a big downtrend for so long, like you say. And we had like you say, the flag pattern, with a big pullback, flag pattern, then the breakthrough again. But like I say, I do feel like we're going to get a pullback into those areas. That candle alone today, but Maribozu candle pretty much, it's just been a solid bullish candle. So yeah, a lot of momentum in Euro CHF. GBP AUD. I'm probably, I'm going to upload this full video, but if you on the Instagram, I think I'm actually going to upload each breakdown that I'm doing now on the Instagram. I don't know how long you get on the Instagram videos, but I might even do a breakdown on YouTube of each pair individually, just to make it a bit easy to watch. As hopefully you'll enjoy it more if it's only 5 minutes long and it's a pair that you trade. Not everyone trades the same pairs. So yeah, I'm probably going to do that. I'll cut them into different videos. So GBP AUD, we're going to go into that one now. This is a trade kind of, it's at an area, like say, of it could come down. We are in an uptrend, but it's got this support area here on the daily that's not been broken. So since early December, we're not hit highs higher than that. So we're up these critical areas now. We're in the downtrend. I'd say right now as we speak, a smaller downtrend. I'd expect more of the pair to come down to here before eventually maybe a move back up. That's personally what I'd expect. So yeah, I always do that. Got a thing for doing that. Oh, I can't see that, it don't matter. But yeah, so I'd expect something like that. So we are in, like I say, Fibonacci again from the swing high to swing low. We've had a pull up, a retracement, a pull up, and now I would expect a retracement back down. Because even if we get the retracement back down, these areas here will not be broken. So the lows would not actually be. Like I said before, if that low got broken off the daily, So let me just draw one of my little boxes. So if that low there got broken off the daily, so again, I know it's very repetitive, but like I say, if I'm going to break these up into individual videos, I just want, you know, everyone to understand. So if we come below, retest that, then for me personally, for me personally, that would carry on as a downtrend. So we'd basically set a new downtrend. So we'd come out the up and that then become a downtrend, or like I expect, price to come down, respect these areas. So I'll actually just flip the Fibonacci now and show you. So if I get rid of that Fibonacci and we say we start retracing from this point, from there to there, see, just look at where the area falls. It falls right on the trend line. Like I've just said, this is like, the more you do it, the more you see it. So for me, I seen that straight away. I knew them, like I said, when I flipped that Fibonacci, I knew that was going to fall in the trend line. So you can probably tell by my voice that I've not pre-planned this. It's kind of in the motion, in the moment. So yeah, price to come down. My personal expectation, move back up. We may even get another one down. Like I said, that's how price moves. Getting, like I say, higher lows. Sorry, high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Then I'll probably move out and break that zone. That is a great example of what might happen over the coming weeks, months. So again, we'll keep our eyes peeled for that. Don't tell me it's all. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, it's brushing it. Thank you. Right, there we go. So that's GBP. So for me personally right now, I think I might look to try and trade the pullback back down. So we have, if we drop down onto the 4 hour, I don't necessarily need that. There you go. We're seeing very bearish momentum now. Bearish engulfing, shooting star, bearish engulfing. Another one. So let's just drop into the hour. There you go. The bears are well in control. I'm personally going to look for, I think I'm going to look for a short. Oh, sorry, wrong. In and around these areas here. I'm hoping we're going to get a pullback. And then, like I said, first target would be, for me, around those resistance areas. I'll just do it off the hour. It's a bit easier. Yeah, in and around them resistance areas. Second target would be the support area, 181, and then so on. But like I say, if we're going off what I'm expecting all the way down, you're talking, you know, a couple of weeks maybe worth, but 500 pips potential. So we are probably going to see maybe a trade like that. There we go. Hopefully, you know, that would be something that might play out. But yeah, so a lot of potential there, GA. We've seen that. Say we're not really seeing as much bear movement as this. So this is the area maybe that we might have to look out for. Like I say, if we don't get the I'm having an absolute disaster with these shapes here. Thank you. So if we don't get the initial, there we go. Like I say, again, if we don't get the initial move below here now, we might obviously just carry on and break this high. But personally, I think we might see another pull, that a third touch of the trend line before move higher. That's my opinion. So that's GBP AUD. Gone through GBP NZD. US dollar, Singapore dollar. So this is one I've been monitoring today actually. Again, nice clear. If we're going to the daily, nice clear downtrend, wick to wick to wick. Fibonacci at the start. Sorry, Fibonacci at the high, at the low, pullback, supply and demand area, like you say, support area there. Had an inverse head and shoulder pattern. That's why I've highlighted that. Going to the 4 hour. As you can see there, we use that perfectly. So basically the head and shoulder pattern I showed you early in one of the videos. This is the inverse head. So we come down. Imagine that's like the right shoulder. It would be the head, the left shoulder. Imagine someone being upside down. That's what it'd be like. But obviously facing the screen. So then obviously that's an area that I've looked. And if we look here now where this has come up to, we've actually had some nice rejections off this area, and we are now seeing some bearish momentum coming in. Double top on the 1 hour time frame. So this is a double top. I've not actually shown you what a double top is. I'm gonna have another nightmare with this, aren't I? So a double top, Price comes up, comes down, comes up, back down. It's like an M basically. And then imagine it an inverse one. It's like a W. Up, down, up. Yeah, simple as that. That's a trading pattern. I've done it again, Anna. I'm having a nightmare with these. I'm glad you're all patient. So yeah, potential short coming in on the US dollar, Singapore dollar. Like I said before, we've had the breakout of the trend line, fake outs, as I always say. Today's daily candle is showing a nice rejection anyhow. So I won't be surprised if we get a bearish candle tomorrow overall. So it'd be nice to get that in play. Right, so going to move on from that. I'm just trying to speed it up a bit now. It is obviously a video has dragged on for some time, but I've tried my best to give you as much detail as I can. So for that one there, first targets for me personally would be in and around that resistance there, which would be our support, 63 pips. Second targets would be in and around there, 124. And obviously, if we can keep falling, basically there'd be just plenty of lows to keep going at. So that's Singapore, US dollar, Singapore dollar. Just say them on tick. USD CHF. So I'm just going to go over this now. So again, trend line down. We've had the high, the low. We've had the retracement up to 78.6. Nice resistance area there. That's on the 4 hour. So again, if we look at where price is currently at, we've had the breakout trend line. Again, personally, I don't like to trade breakouts of trend lines. I think unless you're on the lower time frame, 1 hour or less, you can gain pips off it. But personally, in terms of swing trading, it's there to kind of guide you for the unexpected. Don't believe in the carry on out the trend line. Believe on it's going to come back in. Like say, high has not been passed, hence the reason I believe it's going to come back in. If that high gets passed, then I believe the trend line's broken. It's, you know what I mean? You've got to understand that's what I'm getting out with these trend lines. So if we have a look at 78.6 right now we're at. So again, rejection off this area. If we drop down onto the lower time frame, the 1 hour, we've had a nice bearish engulfing. So again, another entry was possible here. Wick, spinning top, shooting star down, kind of bearish engulfing. We have a look at the short position on that. USD CHF, like I said before, on the Euro CHF, the CHF has been a lot stronger against the Euro, but in terms of CHF against the dollar, it's kind of been well out. So it's had quite a big, push up before kind of move back down. You see, overall, the Swiss franc has been stronger in the last, so if we go from there, 26th of December. So basically a month. CHF has had the better of the dollar over the last month. And then if things are to resume, which in trading is kind of what happens. So I'd even say, what's that, 28th of November. There we go. So there's highs of that. So price is still coming down. I do feel it will come down, but on the daily, like say, we've had a big bullish day on the daily for the US dollar. So personally, I won't be looking at any shorts right now after that daily. Look at that today, US dollar, huge momentum. So I'm personally now, I would say wait. I wouldn't say get straight in that. I'd keep waiting. A lot of momentum in the dollar. See how it plays out. FOMC again tomorrow, like I said, all night on these. So maybe we might see something like this. If I draw again, maybe we'll get another double top. Oops. Double top, move back down. So then if you could get an entry in up and in and around them regions. But again, I personally won't be trading US dollar until at least Thursday morning. That I am planning on avoiding. So we're having a disaster now. There you go. Talking around 50 odd pips, 50 pip movement to complete a nice double top. So that's that. So USD CHF, say more patience, I'd say with that pair. I wouldn't say getting anything straight away. AUD CHF, let's see how this reacted again. But a nice, if we look at the zone, an area that's not been broken today, we had a very strong pin bar candle. Daily close, which is in approximately 2 hours time, 10 o'clock, it will close. This has been a very significant pin bar. So this is a reversal sign. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a move up, back up all the way to the trend line. Maybe these would be targets. So because we are in a downtrend, we look at the highs there to the bottom of the pin bar. I personally would be looking at targets of going to up and around these areas. Oops, I'm having an absolute disaster with these. Up and in around that area there. So if we're going to the 4 hour, that is disgusting, that line. Let me get rid of it. So if I click again, like you say, pullbacks into that area. You had a huge bullish engulfing on the 4 hour, which is nice to see. If we drop down onto 1 hour, it might actually wait. This is a pair that I possibly could trade, but like I said, we have got some Aussie news tonight. So if we get positive Aussie news, which is like, would play into this favor, I would not be surprised if the Aussie news is positive looking at how this pair's set up. But again, this is only one pair. If we kind of cross-reference Aussie against a lot of other pairs, and it's kind of in the same scenario that it's waiting for a pullback, or it's going to make that next impulsive leg down or up, I should say, then I won't be surprised if the Aussie report is positive. The only thing I can think towards the Aussie report is that obviously with what's happened with the economy in Australia over the last month due to the bushfires and things like that, I can imagine that parts of the country has slowed down in economy, but you never know. The report might come in positive, and if it does, like say, I reckon you could get a good, let's just calculate it. The Aussie can move very fast, so you're talking, like say, yeah, you won't be far off it. I'd say, 50 to 100 pips maybe. So depending on the report, but the way price action is setting up, a long would not surprise me. If a short comes in, yeah, I'd probably be a little bit surprised. But if a short came in again, we'd probably only test these areas. I can't see us breaking these lows. If we did break the lows, like I said, then plenty of room to keep falling. I don't think price has actually been that low in so long. So let's go into the weekly. Sorry, one moment. Yeah, as you can see right now, price is kind of at all-time low. Yeah, there you go. The price, Aussie dollar against CHF is at an all-time low as it is. So for me personally, I would not be surprised if price continues up. The fact we've never been this low is kind of a bit of scary. Like it's in the open, do you know what I mean? It's in like the big open water. So price kind of does like to come back into its regions. So like I say, I would not be surprised if we start to see some Aussie gain on the CHF. So that's the kind of breakdown of all the pairs. I feel like I've owed it to the community a little bit. I've not done any videos for a couple of weeks. I've been promising that I am, but I've just been super busy with things at home. So I'm still up to date on the Instagram. It's just obviously these YouTube videos take quite a while to put together and get out there. So yeah, I've kind of not had the time to do that, but I'm kind of going to promise myself now to keep at it. I've enjoyed this video. It's probably the video that I've enjoyed the most, actually. But yeah, so that's kind of me recap. Today's 28th, 28th of January. So we're coming to the end of the month. It's been a steady first month for myself trading. Seen a small gain, say about 7. I think it's about 7% gain on the month. I think last week I had an okay gain. It was 3% last week. So, but on the month, though, about 7% gain. So yeah, everything's going well. It's a good start to 2020. Aiming for better. Each year is about improving. So yeah, I'm going to kind of leave it there. I hope you've all enjoyed the videos. Like I say, there's a chance I'm probably going to cut these videos into each pair because this has gone on for quite some time. But I am going to upload this full YouTube anyway, for those of you who are really interested in trading and learning. So yeah, that's my recap for the 28th of January. Hope you enjoyed it. Please, like I say, like, comment, subscribe. Follow the Instagram at TrueNorthFX. And yeah, that's it. Peace out.